Hello and welcome. Now for the whole of 2021, I'm attempting my second year of a no-buy / low-buy. This is my check-in for June, so we're just gonna jump straight in the way I usually do these monthly check-ins and share with you all the things and the finances at the end of the video. So first things first is the amount of items I used up, which is 3 this month. So the first is just argan oil that I was actually given as a hand-me-down earlier this year, but I finished it. I've just been using it on the ends of my hair to nourish my hair and make it feel good. But yeah, I just kind of use that up. It's not something I'm going to necessarily repurchase because I don't feel like it's super essential. It's just sort of like a nice extra. The next is some nail polish. I also received this as a hand-me-down earlier in the year. I used it a bit, however it's now just kind of dried out, and I got it as a hand-me-down from a friend because I wanted to like test out nail polish to see if I like it, and the answer is I don't really use it and I don't really like it that much, so it's definitely not something I will be purchasing in the future. The next is this, which is a refill for my favorite pen. I think I shared this at some point last year that I'd used one of these up, but pretty much I just get this and put it in my pen instead of buying a new pen each time, and yeah, it's slightly less wasteful, but also just means my favorite pen just continues to thrive. Next are the items I purchased. So I purchased a total of 3 this month. The first was this dress. We had a wedding here in the village slash community slash like school campus place where I live, and I wanted to grab something nice to wear, and I kind of wanted to get something that I would not just wear for a wedding but I would wear in general. So I picked up this kind of long skirt. It's definitely quite old. It's definitely like a vintage item because I got it in a second-hand store. I think it was around $11, and I really love it because I used to have another polka dotted dress that unfortunately got a big rip in it, and now I finally have been able to replace it. So yeah, I really like this one, and I've worn it quite a few times since I purchased it. The next is 2 items that kind of go together. The first thing I got was this, which is The Artist's Way. Now, this book has probably been floating around for quite a long time, and you may have already seen it like through YouTube at some point, and it's one that I saw many years ago when I first got YouTube, and I've always wanted to read it and do the course and kind of get into the practice of doing morning pages and creating that nice morning routine. So I finally finished my assignment for school. It was such a mission, and then as a reward I'd been looking at this book for about 4 weeks in the bookstore, and then once I submitted my assignment I literally drove to the bookstore and I bought this as a like, well done, you gift, you did the thing. So I've been reading it, I really love it, and to go along with that I also got a notebook so that I can do the morning pages exercise, which is where you write stream of consciousness for 3 pages each morning and fill up 3 pages, and you keep going until those 3 pages have filled up. So I grabbed those 2 things as well this month, so I'm really happy about that. Now, if you remember the rules I set myself at the very beginning of this challenge, is I did give myself this sort of allowance section, and I gave myself 6 clothing items as allowance and also 3 books, because I knew that I would get a few things throughout the year, but I didn't want to just say like a free-for-all on clothing, because the point is that I'm obviously still doing a no-buy. So in terms of the dress, that makes it number 3 that I've used up out of my clothing allowance, because I did buy 2 dresses at the beginning of the year, I think in January, and then this is the 3rd one. And then in terms of books, I bought a book of poetry maybe 2 months ago, and then this is the 2nd book that I've purchased through that allowance. So I only have 1 more book to go. I have 3 more clothing items that I can purchase. I think I'm going to wait until it starts to get colder. I think I'm going to have to get some things in terms of that. But yeah, I'm going to do a 6-month recap soon. So yeah, if you want to stick around for that, I can share with you all the numbers and everything that's been compiled in terms of that information the way I did last year, to kind of compare where I'm at from this year versus last year, and I'll be looking at my 2020 numbers to compare to my 2021 numbers. So that was, I think, all the things I purchased, and yeah, I've kind of been doing that whereby I compare the numbers from this year to last year. So in the month of June 2020 I purchased a total of 8 items, whereas this month I brought it down to 3, which is pretty cool. I always like doing that because it's like, yeah, it's a little motivation. I'm in competition with myself. The next thing I have is a toiletry item. I've explained this in my last couple of videos, but essentially I'm in a school campus slash community, an intentional community, and I'm supporting people with disability, and I'm also doing the study program that's a part of it. So I go to classes 1 day a week, and then the other 5 days a week I'm like working, and then I have 1 day a week off. And a part of the exchange of like me giving a lot of my time, pretty much most of my time, which is why my videos are really behind schedule, to supporting other people, is that I have some basic needs met. Somewhere to sleep, food to eat, health insurance, and my school fees are covered. And then I also get like allowance to get some like toiletry items I might need just from the co-op that's here, so like the items that are already offered. So this is one of those things that's coming under the category school toiletries or Camp Hill products. And yes, I got some deodorant. That was a big spiel just to tell you that I got some deodorant, but I got one of those this month. So that is all of the things. Now we'll talk about the good old finances. So for the month of June, I got my stipend check that I usually get of $231. I spent a total of $76.50, so that gives me a grand savings of $154.50. So this month I did make quite a conscious effort to bring down my eating out category, because the month previous I had eaten out quite a lot. I also ate at some pretty expensive places, so last month I spent $112 on eating out. And I went way over budget, definitely a lot more than what I budgeted for myself. And then for the month of June, I spent $25 because I was actively trying to reduce that. And that's what I do. Like I do the cash stuffing videos. I've kind of stopped filming those just because like I feel like they weren't the most popular. I mean, I'm only doing 2 videos at the moment anyway, and they're super behind. But I thought, I mean, like I can keep doing them if there's people who do really enjoy the cash stuffing videos, but I do still work with that budget. I really, really love that system. And yeah, I will, if I overspend in a category, I then make sure that like the next month I'm actively budgeting enough to pay myself back, and then I really reduce my spendings like I did here. The next was things. I spent a total of $38. I think the dress was like $11 because I got it from a secondhand store. The artist wear I think was $19, and then the notebook was like a few dollars. So those were the things that I purchased. Now I made a really silly mistake. It was like fully just whoosh, went out of my consciousness. I basically got a parking ticket that was $10, but then I had to pay a $3.50 service fee online for like processing the ticket to pay for the ticket. And yeah, I pretty much just parked where there was a meter, and I didn't put any money in the meter because I was literally running in to grab a takeaway like less than 5 minutes, like 2 minutes, and in that time the parking inspector gave me a ticket, so that wasn't fun. But anyway, it's really annoying when you make really silly simple mistakes like that and then it costs you, but it happens to everyone at some point. So anyway, that was my recap or check-in for June. If you are interested in seeing a full 6 months work down, I mean, like I've already worked it out for myself because I always do that in my bullet journal, so I could basically just like walk through this and talk about that, then let me know in the comments, give the video a thumbs up. And also, yeah, if you do want to keep seeing those cash stuffing videos, I haven't done it the last 2 months, but I can continue to do it if it's of interest or useful to people. But yeah, anyway, thanks for sticking around, and I hope that your low bite is going well, and I will see you next time. Bye!